Good morning. We're here at B2B Marketing live at the Excel Centre in London. I'm here with David Hayes from Unbound. Hey, David, how you doing?
Good to see you, Joel.
Likewise, really good to see you. You guys are here talking about the kind of balance between brand and demand generation. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I think the reality is every moment that a customer has during their experience is a brand moment. And I think likewise, it's also a demand moment. And I think oftentimes as an industry, we do it a disservice, we do our customers a disservice by talking about these things as separate, when ultimately they're very much intertwined with one another. So what we've been trying to reframe in the industry is really this notion of not brand to demand, but brand and demand, so that we can then focus our efforts of driving all of that engagement into what we call routes to revenue, where we're really then taking all of that great buyer experience, during that long buying journey, those account experiences, and then turning that into ultimately revenue that we can measure for our clients.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Well, looking forward to hearing what you've got to say later on.
Thanks, Joel.
Cheers.
PJ.
Right.
It feels like things are given a shape up every few months. And that's a brilliant feeling for creating, because it always, you never feel like you're truly settled. But you have to kind of keep learning. Otherwise, you're going to get less behind. And I probably feel that that's quite exciting. And with that, you get that slightly set.
So I'm here with Lee Wardell, who's Creative Director at Unbound. Hey, Lee.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
You've just been speaking. Your topic was rewire rather than rebrand. And what I'm taking from that, tell me if this is what you're trying to get across, is that your brand shouldn't be seen as an ivory tower. There should be some flexibility in there. Is that right?
Yeah. I think so. And yet that's just not the case. Most brands, I feel really sorry for a lot of brand teams, because they get handed brand guidelines a lot of the time from the agencies that create them, often not in-house agencies. And there's like a finality to that. Here's the guidelines, here's the brand, now sit and guard it and don't let anybody do anything different with it. And these guys are there going, no, you mustn't do that, you must do that. They don't really know why they're saying no. They just know that the guideline says no. And it shouldn't be like that, because a brand needs to evolve, it needs to change. Technology changes, so should your brand.
And it also presumably needs to be flexible and pragmatic in responding to the environment that you're in, not rather just being fixed and set in stone.
They're exactly that. They're a guide. They're not a dictatorship. They're not a rule book. They should help. They should be a springboard for innovation, exploration.
Great. Fantastic. Great stuff, Lee.
No worries.
Cheers.
Okay.
So I'm here with Charlotte from Culture App. Hey, Charlotte.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
You too. Nice
You enjoying this event?
I certainly am. It's
Good.
been very insightful, very inspirational.
Excellent. Lots of stuff to learn. So we're talking today, I'm asking people about how they balance brand and demand, right? So how do you do that?
Big question. I'm not necessarily sure that we fully do, but I think it's a very topical part of my role at Culture Amp with the EMEA regional team, where certainly we look at our big trade shows, our events, really talking about the brand and that real top of the funnel. But then how do we get that down to the sales side of the house and actually make sure that we are still talking about that brand story and actually making it relevant for sales?
But you've got to try and make that work in a kind of a revenue-orientated environment rather than a kind of ivory tower.
Exactly. So really starting to understand some of the brand KPIs and actually then how that pulls through. But really from a sales point of view is actually also the so what. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
So that's been a real critical part of my role of being able to decipher some of that. But like I said, I don't know whether we're necessarily 100% there, but we're certainly working on it.
My guess is that no one's ever 100% there. It's always a matter of having some flexibility to be able to tweak it depending on what your priorities are at that time.
Absolutely. And I think with B2B as well, the fact that we're talking about brands is really exciting.
Yeah.
My previous experiences from the B2C side and being able to actually just have this conversation is, I think, fundamental how we are moving and B2B is catching up. So
good. Thanks, Charlotte. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's great. David, tell us a bit about Unbound and your history as an agency.
Yeah, I think our core premise has always been around growth is much more fun as a team sport. B2B marketing is innately full of challenges. When Unbound first was launched, it really was set out to solve, I think, one of the biggest challenges that I think many B2B marketers face, which is performance marketing and delivering the commercial outcomes for brands. What we've really been evolving into to be a true brand to revenue agency is then bringing all of the broader skill sets together so we can effectively support brand messaging, brand creative, campaign, all the way down through into our heritage as a performance marketing agency.
Fantastic. So you've got a lot of great skills and heritage to pull on there, but a new take for the market.
Yeah, I think one thing that's quite unique, I've been agency side for 20 years now. And ultimately, an agency is only as good as the people you have. And I think one thing that makes Unbound quite unique is the fact that we've intentionally hired from a really diverse pool of industries. A lot of our team has come from client side. So they've sat in our client seat before. They have that empathy for what our clients are trying to do on a day-to-day basis. We have our own AI investment arm. We're part of a venture capital group as well. So we really pride ourselves on really living in the industry that our clients are living in.
Fantastic. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
Here with Keith from Xaelint. Hey, Keith, how you doing?
Very well, mate.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We're here at B2B Marketing Live, and I'm talking about brand versus demand. How do you balance that equation?
Well, I'm a naturally commercial marketer,
Right.
and that's how I grew up. And I believe in tying what I do to revenue. But I also know that going out to the market for commercial goals without brand as a foundation for that is like building a house on sand.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also believe in being in all the right places so that that commercial activity brings the strength of your brand with you. If you're being credible, people trust you, people buy you.
Yeah.
But if you're being credible, you're also strengthening your brand at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. But wise words. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
So I'm here with Richard Fitzmaurice from Paartner. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
So we're on your stand. But you, if people don't know you, you're a serial CMO in the B2B marketing world, and this is Paartner is your new venture.
Yeah, my new baby.
New venture. There's check out Paartner. I'll put a link down below. You have a look at them. But as someone you've been in the CMO role numerous occasions. How do you balance brand and demand? Because they're both important, right?
I'm not sure you can do one without the other. Generating demand, making sales, prospecting is hard enough as it is without having a well-known brand. Like if you're a well-known name, and I always feel that I was blessed working in the past with BT. Who in the United Kingdom has never heard of BT? BT is actually in 172 countries, but I can tell you, prospecting, marketing, generating pipeline was a hell of a lot easier if they had some sort of understanding of who you were, even if they didn't actually understand what you actually did. And it just makes opening those doors a little bit easier, makes the outbound marketing a hell of a lot easier. So it's always a little bit of both.
Fantastic. So you've got that core. We need to then balance it with the stuff on top, which delivers the commerciality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great stuff. Thanks, Rich.